We're going to get our winter squash planted out today. I have been waiting for the majority of this heat to leave. It's now Wednesday night, it's starting to get a lot cooler, and then over the next few days the temperature is going down as well. So hopefully these aren't going to have too much of a struggle settling in. If you haven't actually sown any yet and you do want to grow some, then it isn't too late. Just check out video 1 and 2. That gives you all the information of everything you need to join in, and then how to sow them as well. If you'd like the discount code on the varieties that we're growing, then you can sign up for the newsletter. Just comment newsletter and I'll send you the information over for that. Before we do plant these out, it is going to be really important to make sure that we have hardened them off really well. Even in this really hot weather, we still need to think about that, because when they've been under cover, when they've been sheltered, they won't have experienced the extremes of the sunshine or the wind and rain and everything like that. So we really want to take the time for these plants to really harden up properly. To do this, all we're going to do is start moving them outside into a shady spot at first for a couple of hours, and then into a more exposed location until you are out overnight and through all the different extremes of the weather that they're likely to experience. Anything between sort of 4 days and 7 days should be absolutely fine to do this. This is the bed that I'm going to be planting mine in, and we're going to be going for a spacing of around 1 metre. So you can see at the back there I've got the broad beans, and then in the middle there is some sweet corn. Doesn't look like a huge amount of space, but it actually is quite large. We did talk about preparing the ground in the first video, so if you haven't done that you might want to head back to that video. And I have at the moment just added a fresh layer of homemade compost, and then we're going to add some chicken manure pellets to each of the planting holes as well. So this is what my seedling looks like. So what we've got is the seed leaves, which is the very first thing that we see it come out. These are going to start to die back now. Now that's completely normal, so don't worry about the health of them. And then what you'll have is the very first leaf that is produced, and then the second leaf that's produced, so along the bottom. The plant is going to climb or head in the direction of the second true leaf, so that's going to be this one. That's really important if you are using some sort of frame to climb these up over, in which case you'll want to make sure they are planted with this side actually heading in that direction. So I'm just going to dig a little bit of space, pick out anything that shouldn't be in the bed. This is quite dry, so I'm going to be adding quite a bit of water to this as well. And then I've got a handful of chicken manure pellets, and then we're going to water each hole. So that's now dislodged some of the compost back over the chicken manure pellets. I don't want it sitting directly on that. They're going a little bit deeper to make sure that some of the stem is buried. And then just very carefully, they're easy to snap, so do be careful when you're planting them in. Just push the soil back around them. So this is the second plant. I'm just going to remove these two first leaves, just because they're not doing anything now. And then this is the first of the tree leaves. This is the second, so we want to plant it that way around, because that's the angle in which the plant is going to start growing. And then just backfill that. And then to stop anything actually burrowing into the stem, I just use a little piece of cut up cardboard from the centre of a toilet roll and just pop that around the stem, and that has always done the job really well for me. Just push it down a little bit into the compost to make sure it's sort of meeting. That's all 3 of these planted out now in the bed. They've got about 1.5 meters to 2 meters between each plant, but they will fill that space really quickly. You can see around the sweet corn that I've put grass clippings, so that is something that we will do around these plants as well when we next cut our grass. That's just going to keep the ground moist for them. They are heavy feeders, so if you do feed your plants rather than your compost, then do feed them once they start flowering and follow the instructions on whatever it is you're using, a tomato feed or comfrey feed, something that's going to support a flowering plant is what you're looking for. Some people also find it helpful to actually add a cane next to each of the plants, so when it's completely covered in leaves that you will know where the plant started, and then you can water in that area as and when needed. During this hot weather, we'll be watering these every day to help them settle in, but after that they pretty much take care of themselves. If we did have a week where there is no water at all, then they would get about a watering can's worth each, and a really deep water once a week. Please let me know if you have any questions, and we will look at these again when they're starting to flower.